Let's take a look around the Marina Bay Street Circuit, a 3.152 mile circuit, 61 laps ahead of us as well. It was Formula One's first ever night race and is still the most demanding on the calendar. Good exit out of turn 23 and launch down towards turn number 1. It's a flat braking zone as well. The first 3 corners really do surprise you and always gives us a great start to the race. 1 and 2, hard braking zone towards turn number 3, a third gear, second down. Now move up, 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear, 7th gear as you rattle through down now. Raffles Boulevard, open up the DRS, 8th gear maximum as you hurtle down towards turn 7 at Memorial Corner. Great opportunity for an overtake as well. A perfect chance to mess up and go straight into the barrier. Now the track tightens up in towards turn 8, 9 and 10 as you come past Stamford as well into this run down past the Raffles Hotel and down now towards the Singapore Sling. Into the corner, quick flick to the left, back on the power before the new modified complex as well, as we go over the Anderson Bridge. Into a very tight hairpin, down at turn 13, and looking for some. We've seen overtakes there aplenty. Downhill then with the third DRS zone as well, towards turn number 14. Slap on the brakes from 7th gear. Down to 2nd gear, control the exit as well. The car can easily rotate around you on here as well. Back then into 17 and 18 now through the Esplanade. Back where Nelson Piquet crashed deliberately back in 2008. Underneath the grandstand as well, it's a vibration that is felt lap after lap. 19 and 20 coming up then as well through these very tight chicane. You get so close to the exit wall here. Drivers often flirt with danger. Flip it through turn 22 and 23. 2 left-handers to finish the lap and across the line. And that is a lap at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Hello everyone and welcome to W Series, Megs. I'm hopping between.
Is this mine?
I know, and I'm hopping between. We've had to have, just to explain quickly, we're on a completely different system because of MotoGP. The original plan was to do the first 10 laps on this and then go, as soon as MotoGP ended, Megan would rejoin me in the commentary box. But MotoGP has been delayed, so now they start at precisely the right time, which is absolute hell for me. And this screen will change on the formation lap when I have to run in. Megan's going to text me when it's on the parade lap. I have to run in, do that, and get it all sorted. But still, once again, absolutely chaos as well. Over to you, Megs.
Yeah, and there's this one thing that Joshua asked me to do, which I cannot remember what I'm going to do. Not this. It's something else. I cannot remember. Text me what it is.
Say again.
Do you know that thing you told me about? Where are you?
I'm over here. I'm not the other side of him.
I
I'm
think
over
you
here.
told me half an hour ago to do. I can't remember what to do.
I've got no clue. Yeah, come into the commentary box to talk MotoGP. Anyway,
MotoGP has just messed everything up.
Yes, and anyway, they're getting underway soon. Marta Garcia starts on pole position. Batzkevisa second. Alice Powell third. Belen Garcia fourth. Jess Hawkins fifth. Abby Pulling is sixth. Sarah Moore seventh on the grid as well as we try and find the results on the rest of the grid. But let's hear quickly from Naomi with Jamie Chadwick.
I think it will be tough, but that said, we've done so few laps, especially in the dry if it is dry. We've done such few laps. I think drivers will be making mistakes, me included. We're constantly learning, adapting. I feel like we shouldn't be down in 8th, and I want to make up for that in the race. And yeah, if I can get the title today, I'm going to give everything to do that.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck. I'm going to let you go get ready as we hear from Ted Kravitz just how tricky the streets of Marina Bay are.
W Series Singapore, the Marina Bay Street Circuit. And it couldn't be a more challenging track for cars and drivers. The heat, the humidity, the pressure. 23 corners, over 5 kilometers, the most challenging circuit on the calendar. Turns 1, 2 and 3, underneath the flyover, tight and twisty, always a risk of contact. Turn 5, all about traction for the run down Marina Drive. Then it's up the gears, down the gears, left, right, right. Turn 8, a slow right-hander. Turn 11 and 12, maximum concentration, do not lose focus here. Then it's over the Anderson Bridge and into the turn 13 hairpin. unlucky for some. The slightest breather on the back straight, and then you're preparing for a critical series of chicanes. Then it's turn 19, turn left underneath the grandstand. Underneath the grandstand? And then finally, it's the run for home. 21, 22, and 23. Bold, brilliant, breathless. This is Singapore.
The action anticipation is just getting underway shortly as well here. The cars heading out onto the circuit then just to get ready to the grid. And shortly I'm going to have to leave and then come back again in a few minutes because the session's about to get underway anyway. Both are getting underway shortly as well. W Series again having its coverage absolutely wonderful. What do you think, Megs?
I think that
You're watching W Series,
I
and
think
this
that it's
is
very
Sunday in Singapore.
worrying.
Good afternoon from
Well,
Marina
there's the
Bay.
st-
overtime.
This groundbreaking
Well, we've got the grid.
championship
Let's go over to Alex Jakes then as well, as we're 4 minutes away from the formation lap, which is actually good news, which means I might just get this sorted, then run back to the commentary box and do MotoGP as well. Anyway, talk us to the starting grid, Megs. Here it is.
Right, so on the first grid we have, first row, we have Marta Garcia alongside Max Divisa. On the second row we have Belen Garcia. Garcias are really making a comeback today. And then before her we have Alice Powell. I don't like the way it shows on the grid. I have to go that way to that way and people don't move that way. On the third row, we have Jess Hawkins, followed by Abby Pulling. On the fourth row, we have Sarah Moore, followed by Jamie Chadwick, which is surprising that Jamie is so far back. On the fifth row, we have Fabian Volverend, followed by Chloe Chambers. On row 6, there is Abby Eaton, followed by Emma Kimalainen. On row 7, nearly forgot which row I was on, we have Argan and De Hughes. On row 8 we have Marty and Tomaselli. And on the final row of the grid, row 9, we have Noda and Bustamante. I think this is going to be a quite interesting W Series race, to be honest. I hope we get a lot more action than we have in previous W Series this year.
So how many points does Jamie Chadwick need? 20?
Do you know what? I am not sure how many, because
I think
can't
Joshua said
find-
20.
yeah, I think she's
Starting in
nearly
8th on the
20.
grid.
Well, can she do it? That's the thing. I think she's likely to win, though I also know that W Series, you don't tend to get a lot of passing. You don't.
There was an interesting thing this week is that 3 of the girls from W Series and 1 from F3 Europe actually had an F3 training session, a training day, a practice day, giving them the different tyres. You know, these are the Hancock tyres, whereas I think they were on Pirellis, which allowed them to turn the corners a lot better. And, put the front nose in better. Basically, these cars are a version of the F3 cars. Basically, the shape is the same, but there are certain characteristics that make them a lot more to handle. And one of them is those tyres.
I think we're getting ready to start the formation lap. Though, then again, we could also be getting ready to start the race. I don't know anymore because it's getting very close to the time. It's actually a minute away. So I'm guessing it's a formation lap.
Formation lap's coming up shortly as well, which is why I'm here to duck around everywhere and get our lovely, lovely, lovely graphics available as well to you. Apologies if we do freeze, but I'm desperately trying to get hold of the graphics for W Series, which will be available in 13 seconds when the green light goes on. It's weird, Megan, isn't it, seeing a day Singapore?
It is. You usually see a night Singapore.
I do enjoy the night ones. 15 seconds to go into the formation lap, but the live timing becomes available now, which means I have to press loads of buttons very quickly in order for Megan to have access to everything she needs, which you should see now. Well, where we go?
Formation lap has now got underway, and it's luckily we have no one stalling. which you do have problems of sometimes. Formation lap seems to be going okay. Who's that at the back? Is that Bustamante at the back?
This is quite interesting. The fact that quite a lot of this circuit has these freeways, flyovers around them and above them. And so, people going about their normal business get a great view of the racetrack here.
Right.
And that is the screen that we will see when we need to go off air to people as well. It's under stream number 2, but Megan can easily control it by pressing the fade buttons backwards and forwards like this. Hello. Right, championship permutations. Let's go down to Alex.
Today, if she wins the race, she wins the title, but it's going to be tough to do that from 8th position, so she's going to be looking specifically at her title rivals. She's got to finish ahead of Alice Powell and Beitske Visser. They're the drivers who are 2nd and 3rd on the grid, and she can't let Abby Pulling be too far ahead. She's got 3 points of a margin over Abby Pulling compared
back to Megan.
Visser and Powell, so it's 75 points her lead over Powell and Visser. It is 78 over Abby Pulling. And she needs a 75-point margin to take the title today.
Yeah, that qualifying session yesterday has come a difficult time for her because, like you said, with 75-point margin, all she needs to do is just either hold that or extend it a little bit further in order to, win the championship. But this qualifying, it's not gone too well for her yesterday. Completely different conditions, and in practice, she was the fastest driver. So there is something to note in that. When the conditions were dry, even though they only got a few laps, she seemed to adapt and get used to this circuit, the fastest out of the whole field.
It's going to be a learning experience for everyone in the field as they go underneath the grandstand, and it can be very, very tricky in the middle of the pack, Naomi. Of all the places to be 8th, this I don't think would be very high up on the list.
No, that's for sure. I think overtaking opportunities on this track are very limited. I think turn 7 will be the best opportunity. Turn 1 possibly, but that'll be harder because the last few corners are very high speed, so it's tougher to gain that traction there. One thing's for sure is the drivers behind Jamie Chadwick, or ahead of her rather, are going to have to make their cars really wide, and I think this for them is the perfect track to do that.
You can see the pink car lining up into pole position. Marta Garcia has waited.
Right, so now that I can get back underway, they're coming up to the grid now, and
You
sometimes
s-
I feel
you
like
s-
I can't hear myself.
You said to me, "Oh, don't worry, I can handle a button."
I didn't know when people stopped speaking, they just continued.
MotoGP's in a delay as well, so this is going to be fun again. Anyway, start procedures underway. Have a great race, and it's going to be a good one. I'm sorry to miss W Series. I have to text me and see who wins, but Megan can't hear herself.
Not that well. Then again, I can never hear myself nowadays, can I?
No, that's true. Just talk and see you're okay. And the last car lines up at the back.
I don't get complaints.
Okay, last W Series race possibly ever. Your commentators, Megan Birch and Ian Birch.
Right, so they're coming up, lining up to the grid now. They've already came up to the grid, so. Right, so.
I don't think this is the last race ever.
2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. I'm underway for the Singapore 2022 Grand Prix for W Series. I thought I'd be elongating it. Coming up. Oh, that is beautiful work from Visser, getting right ahead of Marta Garcia. Shame for Marta. Though, who's that? The 22. That's Belen Garcia coming up the side of Marta Garcia, it looks like. Going 2 abreast. Everyone seems to be going 2 abreast into the first corner, though that's honestly not surprising. It's a very wide track, so that's actually a good thing. And they're very small cars, so you could probably go 4 abreast here, actually. And as I say that, they are going 4 abreast. Further back, down further up the field. I think that was Argan de Hughes, Kimmerline and Eaton back there. Bit of a lock-up there from, I think that was No, it wasn't Sarah Moore. I think that was Abby Pulling locking up slightly.
There's 2 bits of this track that are a problem. One of them is the bridge.
Ooh.
That's quite narrow. And there's also a very sharp turn just before the end of the lap.
Yeah, there is. I'm curious to see how they're going to deal with that. That looks like Where's Alice Powell?
Alice Powell is currently in third place.
There she is.
Um,
Trying to get.
Visco is in first.
You see, the timing screen's so small to me. It feels unusual to have to go closer to it. Though it looks like Alice Powell is trying to make a move on Marta Garcia, though is failing to. And unfortunately for Alice, Bellen's right behind her. And we all know what Bellen's like when she's trying to get past someone.
Well, Martha
It's
and
gonna
Belen
end
are
up in
usually together, aren't they?
crashing.
Side by side in a car. Because they're very good friends. And they're not actually related to each other. But that name Garcia seems to pull them together as best friends.
It's a very common name in Spain.
It's like Smith over here and Jones,
It
isn't
is.
it?
Right, so...
That's the biggest in Asia, that big wheel.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, why is Noda so far down? Is Noda... I think Noda might have gone into the pit lane. Though Kimalainen passes Eaton.
Well,
and
she's falling fast, isn't she? She's gone to
either
the
in the
back of the
pit lane
group.
or she's out.
Yeah.
Though we
We
haven't
have
had
no
any
yellow
yellows.
flag.
So I'm assuming she's in a pit lane for some sort of problem. Maybe there was something on the opening lap. Maybe she had a little bit of contact. Which honestly wouldn't surprise me. There was
It's
a lot
usually
of,
front wing, isn't it?
Yeah. There was a lot of...
Alice Powell there
confusion at the
with Martha Garcia behind her.
Right, so... Number 21, that is Jess Hawkins. See, I knew the name in my head, but I want to be completely sure, because you never know who everyone is, because you've got such similar cars, and each similar car has a similar number, and it's very frustrating.
Quite a good driver, Jess Hawkins.
is.
Day job is James Bond, and things like Fast and Furious. And she's
Bustamante.
also a development driver for Aston Martin.
Replay of the start. Everyone seems to get a really great start, especially Visser. Visser got a lightning start, though Marta just couldn't do it. Though, let's look further at the back. Was there any contact going round this corner? We certainly went three abreast, and I think there could have been a tiny bit of contact between Noda and someone. Let's look round this corner. There was definitely some contact.
There it is.
There
it is. Noda's front wing. She was hit at the front right, and
Which one was it?
that meant that she had to go to the pits. And actually, looking at the vehicle from the back, the car looks like it's got rear suspension problems. It has.
She was the
Yeah.
lockup we saw.
I think that's. You can see that it's dropped at the back there, and it's actually touching the floor.
That is a
So
puncture,
she's
it
actually
looks like.
pulled off.
Yeah,
She's not in the pits.
It looks like she had a puncture because that wheel is not meant to go diagonal, let's face it.
No, she got hit, didn't she?
Yeah.
At the front end.
And it's caused the wheel to have a puncture because that wheel was definitely not straight. It was definitely at a 45-degree angle.
It could be that she had a suspension failure because
Well, she did have a
it
bit
was
of
leaning down.
contact.
The plank is actually hitting the floor, so it's either suspension or, as you say, it
think-
could be a puncture.
I think it was her
But
and Argan.
she was hit at the front end, not the back.
I think it was Argan that came into contact with Noda because I saw it was a yellow car and Kimalainen was very high up at that time, so it couldn't have been Kimalainen.
That's a weird one. We'll have to see what they say after the race there,
Mm,
because it's the tyre involved that was nothing at all to do with the incident.
Yeah, it just sort of happened. And going a bit too wide there, pulling past his Voverend.
The only thing I can think of is that
Because it went too
when
wide.
they shunted the car to the left in the impact, that it dislodged the tyre off its rim a little bit and deflated.
Yeah, I'm guessing that must have happened because it did look a little bit deflated.
Because there was no contact with that rear.
Yeah, I don't see how the tyre got damaged.
Oh.
Because
Anyway, back to the race,
it
where
just doesn't-
Alice Powell has got the fastest lap up to now. Currently still in third place. There's the Raffles Bridge. The Anderson Bridge, sorry.
It is a
Raffles Hotel
very
is just
tight
round the
corner.
corner from there. My dad used to stay at that during
Oh, did it?
the 1940s. Yeah,
Ah.
he was stationed there.
Did not know that. Though,
It's during the war, the Second World War. Yeah.
Every time I hear during the war, I think only Fools and Horses. Right, so 23 and a half minutes to go now.
We've actually got
Fastest
pictures of
sector
Grandad on your Grandad on that bridge.
I know.
Yeah. So back to the race. Abby Pullen is in 7th. Jamie has got up to 6th place. She's got to get a lot more than that, hasn't she, to win today? Who's second in the championship, Meg?
Second in the championship, I think that's Alice Powell, though Alice Powell just sets the fastest lap of
she's
a 2:14.721.
Beating her own fastest lap from earlier on in the race. Early on, this is the early stage of this race, and so Alice Powell at the moment is in a better position than Jamie. This could go to the final round. Joshua said this could be the last race. They have had some money problems, but Liberty are, in talks and to try and sort out things. Everybody seems to be having money problems in the world at the moment, and Formula One and W Series is no different to that. But they want diversity in sports, in all things, religion and everything like that. Bringing people from all walks of life into this, and this includes why this was created, the women's series.
Alice Powell is trying to make a move on Marta Garcia. She's trying so hard, but she's going in the wrong places. She keeps trying to go at the narrowest corners. I would suggest trying to get her on the straight, because going around the hairpin's not going to do. Trying to get around the hairpin, it isn't going to do anything good. I recommend trying maybe now, because it's still. I would have done it now because it still would have been recovering from trying to get around the hairpin.
The money problem is why there was no practice session broadcast. FOM refused to do the practice session, and not even the drivers. Martha Garcia went to replay the practice session to see something, and couldn't find it, and was told no, it wasn't even filmed.
Oh! Alice Powell finally gets past Marta Garcia from going side by side, though can Marta Garcia keep up from defending against Belen Garcia? I'm not sure. I'm not that confident. The Garcias are kind of competitive.
Yeah, the FIA and Liberty have both said that they want female drivers in Formula One within the next 5 years. And people like Jamie Chadwick are the most likely of Martha Garcia, aren't they? Visca and Alice are a bit too old to join Formula One, although we had a 27-year-old debut guy in the last Formula One race in De Vries.
We did. And right, so it's now 20 minutes to go. Alice Powell still has the fastest lap, though she's 2 seconds behind Batsky-Visser. So, and given the fact that before, when we've had Jamie Chadwick be seconds ahead of someone, I find it unlikely that she's going to be caught anytime soon. Though Jamie Chadwick, in these past 10 minutes, has only moved up 2 places from her starting position. So
it's looking more and more like, although it's still early in this
like
race,
this is going to win.
This is very much a situation where I don't think they can have a good run to pass. There's nowhere where you can brake late. It's going to be mistakes, isn't it, that lets people up.
Continue.
Yeah, up the field, and I think that's Jamie's problem at the moment. She's got Jess Hawkins in front of her, and then Martha Garcia in front of there.
I think that they should go for passes
by the way,
on the straights more.
Martha Garcia is now in 3rd place. Alice Powell, who's done the fastest lap, is now in 2nd place.
I know, we called that.
So that increases Alice's influence on
Bad
Jamie
luck
not
for Jamie.
winning today, the championship.
Bad luck for Jamie, that is.
Sarah Moore is in 9th place with Kim Kimmer Leinen in front of her. I'm sorry if I have a few problems pronouncing the names. I've still got problems with my eyes, and
I'm more experienced at it.
And Megan is a lot younger than me, and she's a lot closer to the screen.
That I am. Though it looks like Jamie Chadwick is 4 seconds behind. Wait, is that turned to 6? 6 seconds behind. Why is she losing time?
I think most of the people here are actually just conserving their tyres. 18 minutes to go on this, so it's the early stages of this race. And as it stands, Jamie Chadwick will be on 151, with Brighter Visser on 93, and Alice Powell is actually in third place with 86, because Visser is currently leading this race.
Right. Up to Jamie Chadwick. Jamie is 6 seconds away from Visser. Guarantee she's only 7-10
back.
12 minutes to go now for the race, and I hate it when that happens. Right, so De Hughes passes Argon. Let's hope that's not for a crash, because let's face it.
Well, the one big change since we've been off for a few minutes is that Powell and Visca have been battling for the lead.
Bye.
And back to Megan.
Right, 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Powell is still got the fastest lap. This is still leading. Not much has changed. The only thing that's changed since we've been off is that Hughes has passed Argon for 14th place. So you haven't missed much.
Well, we did see an incident between where Visca and Alice overtook. Alice overtook her for a moment, but she's now back in the lead.
And it's about to happen again, nearly.
She's looking for the right space. It's a wide track in a lot of the areas, but you just can't get the run up because there's that many corners. It's a typical street track, isn't it?
I want Visser to win, though, because I think it's Visser's time. She needs a win.
It's also very humid here. And
Tomaselli passes Argon. That means Argon's going slower.
The F1 lads say that this is the most draining race of the year.
Not surprised. It's a very difficult track because you've always got to be on guard. A replay of Jamie Chadwick. This is either just a slow replay or maybe something happened which we don't know about.
Martin Brundle suggests that they put tea in their bottles here because it heats up and also, it's nice and refreshing.
Also, it's more caffeine than coffee.
And Lewis said, well, that's not any good to me, Martin, because I never used the water bottle, and that surprised me. The greatest of all time doesn't use his water bottle in any race.
Don't know what Pulling said.
No, because we're not getting the radios through either online
there,
or on the TV.
We would have been able to hear it there.
Well, I didn't.
Because you were talking.
And you should be able to hear it in your ears.
I can't hear that in my ears.
Because she's got headphones on. I haven't. Anyway.
Because it's not turned on.
So, look, the gap between Visser and Powell is just 0.3 of a second now, Meg. Do you reckon Alice is just now decided that I'll just wait till her tyres run out?
I think she's trying to figure out the best area to actually get past her, like she was doing with Marta Garcia.
You know, they really need the thingy system where the flaps open and gives the one behind DRS. Yes? Is that the one? DRS?
Yes. That's why I said it.
That's why she said it. Anyway, this is going to be one of those systems where... How much is left in the race, Meg?
8 minutes and 45 seconds is left of a race, plus 1 lap, obviously.
So you do this race all the time. I would say
had a bit of a break.
that Alice has got to win this race. Alice has got to actually make a go of it from about 4 minutes in, 4 minutes before the end, because that's 4 minutes plus a lap. So she'll have 5 minutes to get past and hold her off
Or maybe
for
a bit
the rest
more
of the
than
race.
5 minutes. I mean, it's a
but
quite slow cars.
It's certainly that Jamie Chadwick. It's certain now that she won't win the championship here. She'll go on to the next race.
It will go on to the next race, though I am kind of surprised at how low she was. in
Jess
the thing,
Hawkins
and
is
she
now
hasn't been able to get back up.
Jess Hawkins is now just 9/10 behind Bertha Garcia.
She is, and it looks... Oh, now it's gone up to an entire second, though that just furthers Jamie's
And
further
it's
away from first place.
and,
So
and
Jamie's
it's
not winning.
the point of I'm trying to make is that Jess Hawkins, if she can get past Bertha Garcia, if she can get closer to her, it could unsettle things and allow Jamie to actually get past both of them and up
What,
into the
get
fourth
past both
place.
Belen and Jess.
Yes, because when one fights against the other, they always leave a gap. And asked a certain person in Formula One who had an operation recently. He was told on
Alexander
the
Albon.
Hakkinen told him on the grid that he did this overtake where you wait for the moment that the two are battling in front, and then as they both slow down, you don't brake and go down the right hand side.
We've seen
Yeah.
that used
The
quite a lot.
Hakkinen overtake. It was reminded recently, and it works in a lot of these tight races like this.
So 6 minutes now left to go, plus a lap, and I'm going to use the words, because honestly I think this race needs at least a yellow, because it seems a bit like it needs it. Though it's been very quiet. Also, why is it basically like a design?
I think if
thing?
they
I think it's
changed
part
the
of the track.
tyres to Pirelli, which are these are very hard wearing tyres, and it's not till the last bit of the race that they actually start to degrade in W Series. I think they would get much better racing if they had if Hancock actually did a tyre that degrades just a bit slightly more, and that would allow a few more overtakes.
It would be nice to see a lot more overtakes in W Series. I think it's also down to how slow the cars can be, because it should not take 2 minutes to get around here.
Yeah, I think these should be F3 specs, not just F3 in name. I think they should be absolutely the same spec as the F3s, with the same tyres. Doesn't matter which manufacturer manufactures them. You just need the same constitute of tyre, and that would really increase W Series into a better spectacle.
I am not completely sure. I think
Because
I've
it's
lost my timing
there's
screen.
no doubt about it. The top 7 girls in this are very much capable of being in F3.
They are, and I see that everyone can't avoid that curb right there, so that's going to do even more damage to the tyres, and it does not help that they're sausage curbs. And I already see a line forming on someone's tyre, and Jamie Chadwick...
Jamie has gone and hit the wall.
Jamie has gone into the wall after trying to overtake Jess Hawkins, and I think there's a yellow flag. I did say the quiet word. I did say it. It's done something. Just really wish it wasn't Jamie. She's gone.
Well, Jamie
slightly
was
into
trying
the
to
wall.
do what I just said, and she went down the
Commentates goes for both of us.
inside, which is very dusty.
She is
This
out.
circuit
Safety car.
is
Safety car.
immensely dusty. The Formula One lads have been complaining about the dust, and that's what did for Jamie there.
Oh,
She
did it?
she hit the dust, and then she just couldn't stop, and you could see she locked up The front two wheels are locked up. That's just Jamie. Jamie moves on to the next one. Jamie, is that her first ever?
Do you know? I am not sure.
I think it is. I think it could be her first ever non-finish.
It could be, and I'm going to text Joshua saying Jamie Chadwick out.
Safety car has been deployed.
Yeah, safety car is out, and so is Jamie Chadwick. Though I think there's been a bit of damage to the wheels since they shouldn't have moved that easily.
Well, that brings Visser into the
championship.
Into the championship a lot more, doesn't it? She's currently
here's a replay
in the lead, isn't she?
I think she must have locked up, or either that or
yeah,
she
on the
just forgot
dust.
to turn.
You watch this. She does the brake. She overtakes her by,
She had
like
to
I
have.
said, but like Hakkinen would. But she goes on the inside and brakes really late, and she just can't stop. And then she hits that sausage curb, and bang. Jamie knows that's a mistake, and she's mad with herself there. You can see her shaking her head there.
She is mad with herself, and I'm not sure when the safety car is going to come back in, though. Just Detective Joshua saying the words, Jamie Chadwick out. Let's see how long he takes to reply if he does.
I honestly feel that Jamie Chadwick could race in F2.
She could.
And within, getting a bit of experience in F2, and she could challenge for a seat in Formula 1.
2 minutes left, well, more like 1 minute 50 left of... Oh, I was actually right. It was 1 minute 50 when I started saying that. I'm getting good at timings.
I do feel that Visser is too old to go into Formula 1, but I think Visser could do well in F2. Alice is definitely too old. There's too many young drivers in Formula 1, the up-and-coming young drivers, for them to get past, which is unfortunate.
It's on the track right now.
But I really feel
Jamie's
that the likes of Powell, Martha Garcia, Visser, and Chadwick especially could do a job in F3, and Chadwick and Powell and Visser could do a job in F2.
Do you know what I like? The fact that
It's
Jamie...
important in the development of women drivers in our sport.
Do you know what I like? The fact that Jamie crashed right at a area where her car could easily be taken in by the crane. Oh, that's a team radio for Marty. Rain is possible. I'm going to text that to Joshua because that could mean that Singapore's going to be wet.
It comes down very quickly and very hard in this part of the world. Anybody watching MotoGP today in Thailand?
Oh, they know the troubles of rain.
Yeah.
It's a rainy day in motorsport. Joshua is typing.
That's cool. That's why I'm here and not Joshua, because Joshua is still trying to deal with MotoGP. They had to abandon the
control safety car
race.
in this lap, and Joshua confirms the fact that this is Jamie Chadwick's first ever retirement in W Series history, meaning she won't be champion today. And he also seems very excited about the possibility of rain.
Yeah, but we've only got 1 lap left, aren't we? Because we're timing down to the...
The timer has gone out, so after they finish this lap and the safety car goes in, it is the
one final lap.
Oh, I like that.
Still the waved yellows until they get to the line.
I think this has just heaved a sigh of relief that Jamie's out.
Yeah, this has been a good day for Visser. She started off in 3rd place in the championship, and she'll now be the main contender.
She went, in all aspects, she went from 3rd to
second. To second, and Alice is dropped to 3rd, even though she's 2nd in this race.
Green flag, we are racing again, and it is the final lap. And hold on.
But at this moment, Alice will also get a point for fastest lap, won't she?
She will, yeah. She will get a point for fastest lap, and it means that the tension's going to be risen very high at the next race, what is the next race?
it's not been a very good race for the Puma girls, has it? Kimalainen's in
no, it has
ninth,
not.
and Gren is in, I think, 15th.
I believe. I'm not sure actually. I think yeah. Right, I'm gonna stop the green flag bit now because we all know we're on a green flag.
The Bristol Street Motor girls are in a good position now.
I'm just checking the championship. Hold on.
Second and ninth, is it? No, sixth. Second and sixth. It's not very easy to read a timing screen when you've got blurred vision.
It's not easy to read it either way.
Lovely, lovely area, this part of the world. And in the final lap of this race, how many races have we got to go in this series? Just one?
2, I think.
2 to go. Oh, it's going to be
shall
tight.
check.
I was going to say, with Jamie's lead, you would expect there to be 2 to go.
Yeah,
So
2 to go. Austin and Mexico City. I think
this is Visca's chance to really close in the gap.
Right. Is she coming up to the line?
Alice can't get past here.
I could have sworn.
I think unless there's something dramatic going to happen, like happened with Jamie,
I
think this is
there
Visca's
will
to
be.
lose.
Going through the tunnel now, and I'm not so sure though. I think it's near the.
Anderson Bridge.
How is that? I need to look at this track more. Hold
Yep.
on. Yeah, I would say she is very close to winning her first race of the year.
Here we go.
And Visca is the winner of the Singapore race for 2022. And it is
And Yo-Yo's Alice in
brilliant.
the championship.
Closes
Alice
down the
gets
championship
second
even more.
place and also fastest lap.
Oh, Joshua. Oh, there's a yellow in sector 1. So that could be a, like, the word's gone from me, so it could be like a mistake, which I think it might be. Though Joshua's just told me that it was a rare mistake, but I believe she was caught out by the different brake bias of the Toyota cars. A lot said the brakes feel longer than usual cars.
I know what he means there, but yeah, that's. I think it's also. Visca is now on the thing, on the radio.
Celebrating, and it's at the
I
top
think it was
3.
really the dust. It was
I
that
think
particular
that was
part
it.
of the circuit is very, very dusty, and
Yeah, I think
if you've got
might have caused it to
a
lock
long
up the
break,
brakes.
if you've got a long break where you have to press quite hard and quite far, then yes, it doesn't release fast enough, does it? And so
Ooh, there was a battle going on for 5th. Was that 5th and 6th? Photo finish for that.
it's about the best battle in the actual race.
Yeah, battles
Coming to the line on the last
battles
lap.
for 5th, 6th, and 7th was literally the main thing of the entire race.
Yeah. They've got to get more excitement into this series because the girls are capable of overtakes. These are all. I mean, after all, 2 of these girls work as stunt drivers on
They do.
some of your major films like James Bond and Fast and Furious. And
Grand
so
Tour.
and Alice Powell is actually Alpine's Academy boss. These are girls with talent that need better equipment. That's the thing. It's money, and you've got to get money back into this series. And I think Liberty should put their money where their ideas are.
I think they should too. Though after leading for the entire race, let's face it, without anyone actually passing her, at least not completely. There was that one moment where we thought that Alice was going to get in front, though she didn't.
She did. I thought she did for a few seconds, and then when we were off the air, I thought she did actually get through just for a couple of seconds, but Visca undercut her back into the lead.
She did, and I'm not sure though. I don't know what the checkered
Our
flag
problem
symbol
today-
is for this.
Our problem today is we usually have 7 monitors, all with different things when we're doing these things. But we've got 2.
I don't know.
And one of them is really small for Megan to actually do the commentary. So,
Yeah, and I lost my timing screen.
Bite
after
of
we went
Vissa
off.
is in first place, with Alice Powell in second for the United Kingdom, Martha Garcia for Spain, Bella Garcia for Spain, and then the 2 Brits of Jess Hawkins and Abby Pullen, and
Then 8th was
then
Fabian
Sarah
Vovra.
Moore got 7th.
And then Fabian Vovra in 8th, Kimmerleinen in 9th. 10th is Abby Eaton.
And Jenna Racing's Jamie Chadwick didn't manage to win the championship, and for the first time ever, did not finish.
Right, so Bajtske Vissa was... I'm going to have to read it out again because we didn't get to finish it, did we? So
No,
Bajtske
they seem
Vissa
to be in a hurry,
first.
don't they?
They do. Bajtske Vissa first, Alice Powell second, Marta Garcia third. That's the podium for today. Well done to Bajtske Vissa, first win of the season. Bella Garcia is 4th, Jess Hawkins 5th, 6th is Abby Pulling, surprisingly, Sarah Moore 7th, Fabian Vovra and 8th, 9th is Kimmerleinen, 10th is Abby Eaton, Chloe Chambers 11th, Marty is 12th, De Hughes is 13th, Tomaselli 14th, Bustamante is 15th, Argan is 16th, and then out is Jamie Chadwick and Juju Noda.
After all, what we was talking about them developing into other series, Vissa and Alice has won quite a few F3 European races, and is they both got a lot of experience in F3, and they came into this series thinking that it was a better series, but unfortunately, the equipment I don't think is good enough.
I don't think it is either.
It's not the
No.
talent; it's the good, it's the equipment.
Right, so thank you for watching. Unfortunately, we have to be on a quick off, so thank you for watching, and join us next time in Austin. And not quite sure when that is. Hold on, let me have a look. That is the 22nd to the 20th.
Annie there, the
Was
first
22nd
lady
of
of Formula
October?
One.
So 22nd of October. Join us for the race in Austin. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah,
Ian
thank
Birch,
you.
for co-commentating with me, and thank you for Joshua for sorting out things when it goes wrong. And
But you never
starting off
gave me
the
any
stream.
choice.
No, that's the joy of it. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.